Hello guys, Crispy here. Welcome back to another video. Now this was supposed to be a very different video from what it ended up being. So yeah, this is the GTX 295. Of course, you saw it in the video's title and everything else, you know. Well guys, I was supposed to test this card over here, just like I tested the GTX 285 over here. So yeah, testing like 10 games on it, but it wasn't really possible because my motherboard isn't really compatible with the GTX 295 and I just couldn't get it to work. The only way it would work is if I had another graphics card installed like the GTX 1650 and it would boot and it will display an image, but it wouldn't install the drivers properly, and I just couldn't really get any game to run on this GPU here in my main system. What I ended up doing was like a very Frankenstein-ish thing that I'm about to show you. By the way, don't do any of this at home. I don't even know if it's safe or not. I don't even know if I got lucky because things haven't exploded. I ended up doing this way and only testing one game in this video, which was Battlefield 3, which runs really well with the GTX 295 actually, using both of the two GPUs there. And the reason I didn't really test any more games with it is because the CPU was actually kind of bottlenecking the GTX 295, to my surprise. At least in Battlefield 3 it did, so I decided not to test any more games. I will be back with the GTX 295 here in the channel, so keep tuned in, of course. Yeah, now I'm just gonna share with you my experience. We got a power cord coming from there. Yeah, and that is powering up our secondary PC, which has the GTX 295 right there. Yeah, you can see it running beautifully. But, of course, this setup over here only has a 430 watts power supply, which isn't enough to power our GTX 295. So what I did in my complete wisdom, I actually had no idea if this would work or like explode both of my PCs or whatever, and I'm not really sure why I'm still doing this, but okay, it's for science, I guess. Okay, instead of removing my power supply from there and insert it right here in this PC and move on with my life and test the GTX 295, no, I'm just running there the GTX 1650, which of course doesn't really need any power connectors from the power supply. And as you can see, there's a power cord from the power supply coming all the way here into the GTX 295. So we are actually using that power supply to power up the i5-4460, which I have right there, and the 8 gigs of RAM and everything else, and then the GTX 285 is getting its power from the other 750 watt power supply, which we got right there. Everything right now is actually running, and I'm gonna show you. So going into MSI Afterburner, we can see that we got our GTX 295 right there, running perfectly fine with the latest drivers available for it. I'm gonna minimize that and I'm gonna show you now the rest of the specs. So we got the i5-4460, the 8 gigs of RAM, dual channel of course, and that's pretty much it. Now I'm just installing some games and I don't even know if this works or not. Yeah, I'm gonna find out once I install Battlefield 3 and test everything out for stability and stuff like that, but oh my god. It looks like everything is working. Of course I didn't stress test anything yet, so things might still catch fire and I'm really worried about that. Right! Oh my god! Okay! Holy crap, guys! It is actually working, and it's not on low settings, by the way. Let me check the settings. So everything is working fine right now. We're on high settings at 1080p with the GTX 295, and both GPUs are running absolutely fine. As you can see right there, 90+% usage on both of them, and wow, what the hell? We're above 60 FPS, guys. Holy crap, I'm just gonna play for a little bit, see if everything is stable, and show you guys some gameplay. I'm feeling a few stutters over here and there. Yeah, definitely. That's like normal for SLI setups, you know. Things are not very well optimized for these kinds of GPUs, dual GPUs and stuff like that. Yeah, keep in mind that we are using the i5 4460 and it is actually reaching quite high usage right there, and it is not looking good, guys, right now. Okay, holy crap, so many. Oh, black screen. What happened? Holy, okay, everything's fine still, I think. Alright guys, so I think it's completely unplayable on high settings. It's stuttering a lot, so I'm gonna dial it down to low. I just can't believe my Frankenstein creation is working. Anyways, up here we can actually get really high FPS, you can see, like in the 80s and 90s, but down there of course is where the 64 players are at, and of course that should be quite a big strain on the CPU as well, the GPUs. I think if we had a beefier CPU like in my other system, the 3700X, if that worked, we could actually play this game way better than we are playing it right now. But you know, yeah, the CPU usage gets like in the 90% usages, so the GPU isn't really maxed out here. Our i5 4460 is actually bottlenecking the GTX 295. Otherwise we'd be getting way more FPS, I think. We can actually get 60 plus FPS most of the time here, which is really good, obviously. I'm gonna join a server with less players just to see what the GPU can do without being CPU bottlenecked, so let's do that. Right guys, we're here in a 32 player server at low settings still, 1080p of course, and I think we are still CPU bound because the CPU usage is still very much up there. So yeah, the game is not really stuttering that much. I can feel like micro stuttering issues. Oh, it's playable, you know, it is playable. Of course I play much better with a higher refresh rate monitor. I'm not even sure why I'm saying like you could play like this, because you should not like at all play with a system like this. Like don't buy a GTX 295 for gaming in 2020. Just buy it if you like GPUs like me, and if you want a GPU collection and stuff like that. It's interesting, it's like a collector's item nowadays. I'm just very glad that the GPU actually works, because I can't find it anywhere else, you know. I just came across this deal for 25 bucks in CEX, and I actually thought it was dead when I installed it today in my Ryzen 7 system, but of course, yeah, I just remembered that it could be some compatibility issues, and then I installed it in this system that it's in right now with the Frankenstein stuff, and there's that. Again, I don't really want to pull this GPU back with a bad CPU like this one. Well, it's not really a bad CPU, you know, it's just not really enough to keep up with this GPU. Wait, oh, nope, let me kill this guy, actually. Yeah, I'm not going to revive that guy, he's dead. Where are my guys at? Everybody's dying. Whoa, what's going on? Okay, I'm dead. I'm dead. Right guys, I'm sorry if you are a bit disappointed because I wasn't really able to make the video that I told you I would make, testing a bunch of games here, but still, we managed to do Battlefield 3, CPU bound still, but yeah, I'm not taking any averages and stuff like that, so it doesn't really matter. I'm just showing you some gameplay at this point on my new beautiful GPU. Is that guy alive? Yes, he is. What the heck? There's another one here. Come on, where is he? Where is he? Where did he go? Oh, he's there. Alright, got him. Hopefully you still enjoyed this video, and hopefully you learned something. I certainly did, because I didn't know that you could actually use a PC with a power supply and connect that power supply to a GPU in another PC, and yep, basically what I did here. I had no idea if this would work or not, so I'm just glad it does. I'm not really sure why I'm glad it does. Maybe because I could actually make a video out of this. Well guys, we still managed to get the higher kill count in the entire server at 17 versus like 15 for the first guy in our team. So keep tuned in for the next video with this GPU, which should come in a month or so. And I hope you guys enjoyed this, okay? I really hope so. And leave a comment down below telling me what you think, what you thought about this video and the GTX 295 and how I've done things. I know this is probably not the safest thing to do, and I highly recommend you to not do any of this that I just did. But yeah, for science, guys, for science. I'll see you in the next one, hopefully. Hope you guys enjoyed this. I'm just gonna show you this entire thing working again, and then yeah, I'll see you in the next one. So look at that beautiful setup right here. This actually controls the upper system, which is this system right here. Yep, beautiful stuff. And there it is, the GTX 295 with our i5 4460 connected to my other system. Holy crap, I just can't believe this worked, guys. Alright, see you in the next one, guys. Love you all. Bye-bye.